What's up, my friends? Happy Tuesday. Hope this stream is finding you well wherever you're watching, whether you're on mobile, on PC, at work, at home working. Doesn't matter where, doesn't matter when. Watch it on replay. I'm here for you. I want to support you in all things DFS. Today, we're actually going to be looking at something a little bit different, and my stream will be a little bit shorter than normal. We had a family injury, and we have a kid at home here. So, listen, we're going to be just like I approach DFS, we are going to be flexible. And, I'm not going to approach my day with a set thing of rules. It's all guidelines. I'm about to pivot through my day and figure out a way to make it an efficient day for you and myself included while taking care of the family. So let's dive in. Let's skip the formalities and let's go right to something I want to look at because, again, this is going to be a shorter stream. So I'm going to be very focused on this and this alone, because, well, it's not going to be our normal time frame. I apologize. And if you catch this later on replay, I hope you understand. Thank you, Fantasy Cruncher, for supporting our stream and sponsoring these Monday through Friday 1 p.m. streams for all things FC here. Our members end up getting $20 to use at Fantasy Cruncher. That's right. Every single member gets $20 to use at FC because of the generosity of FC. So thank you to them for that deal for our members. And FC members and ROF members, I'm here to help you out today. And we're going to be looking at something that actually I was thinking about this weekend. Like, this could be actually an interesting way to play some DFS. And I've been trying to find different angles. And I did a podcast last night. I'll be producing that later today for the Fathers of Fantasy podcast. And I talked about how, while DFS edges are shrinking, they're really only shrinking on the main slate. And it's on you, the user, or me, the provider, to figure out what the next edge is or to create one for myself, or in essence for all of us together as we're watching the stream and doing the stream together. And I was starting to think, well, okay, that means I need to research other things that aren't main slate driven. And one of them that hit me is doing the, early and afternoon slates, which, I did talk about last week after I took, I think, third place in the afternoon slate. I think I took 6th or 7th in week 2 and 3rd in week 1 in the afternoon and then the early. So I've had some success there. And then I was thinking, well, okay, yeah, I can research that. And that's going to be very similar to the main slate, just condensed down to a 9-game or a 4-game slate, whatever it is. But one of the things I think actually we can take advantage of is maybe doing tiers. So if you've never done tiers before, it's actually pretty fun. And I did it a few times last year with mixed results. And honestly, I was just kind of throwing darts at the wall. And I was thinking to myself, during that podcast last night where I was saying, you got to create your own edges. There's always going to be an edge in DFS because each slate is unique. That's DFS in a nutshell, daily fantasy sports. So if you are going to create your own edge, you might as well do it on a platform or on a site or on a slate and format that is not played heavily by the sharks or the people that are in the know. I mean, think about it right now. I bet you that out of the 400 people or so that will watch this video over the course of the week, I'd say 350 of them probably play the main slate only. Then they dabble in showdown because who doesn't want a little skin in the game on a Sunday night or a Monday night football game? But I would venture to say, maybe 15% of the field, 10% of the people who end up watching this, 40 or 50 viewers probably play tiers, and they don't even play religiously. And it's an afterthought. It's the last thing they do for all things DFS come Sunday morning. So I've got a feeling that this could potentially be one of those edges that we can research and create our own edge going forward. So I actually want to spend a little time looking at tiers. So what I did real quick, because I honestly don't even know where to begin. And we'll spend some time in lineup study. And it's something I want to do going forward here. But again, this is a really short stream. So I wanted to dive right into lineup rewind because it's our lineup rewind Tuesday. And I wanted to look at like what would happen had I just run out the raw, crunched optimals. And then what I want to do is see if I can kind of, execute a few different strategies I was thinking about and see how the results change. See if we can find anything here. So this is the live one. Larry, appreciate that, man. Yeah, me too. I just never really think about it. Says, I love it. Love it, Mitch. Have always wanted to get into tiers. Yeah. And again, I mean, this comes down to let's just do the 50 cent. Like when I start doing this and actually playing, If you've never played tiers and you're a 20 maxer, I mean, hopefully you're testing this out in the 25 center, testing this out in the 50 cent, 150 max. I'm not going to dive right into the flea flicker. I'll do the flea flicker for the main slate, but mini max probably for the tiers. So let's just see how this goes. All right, here we go. So this is the just crunch it raw, 100% global cap, everything. So you look like you only cash out 27 lineups. Rough day. I mean, you lose $46 out of your 75. If we were to go ahead and just, let's just bump up the uniques real quick to 3 and see if that changes anything. And then we'll, if 3 is better than 1 and 2 is better than 3, whatever, we'll settle on one of them and then we'll try to make some good lineups. Just got to find a baseline. Honestly, it's kind of what my goal is first and foremost. So 3 uniques does spread out your investments a little bit. This is nothing new. There's only 8 spots here, so it's similar to the 9 you would have on a main slate for fantasy, but this is 8 spots instead of 9. So let's go with 2 uniques. Try that one out real quick, and then we'll see which one was the best. And then we're going to start setting some global caps, or I guess tiered caps. Maybe we'll look at even like tweaking around the player pool, but honestly, 2 is the worst. So we're going to go 3 uniques. And now I want to go with maybe a 50% global cap. And then I want to start looking at like some correlation. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Again, you're watching it happen live. I thought this might be the best way to kind of go through this. Looks like as soon as we put that 50% cap on, it got worse. So I'm going to go back to 100. We're just going to let it rip. That allows our projections to do their job. And here we go. So when I was looking through this a little bit before stream, I was looking at these and I saw that, tier 1 has 4 quarterbacks. Tier 2s is mostly running backs other than DeAndre Hopkins. Tier 3 was a mix of pass catchers, running backs, tight ends. You've got Diggs, Waller, Henry, Metcalf, Allen. Tier 4, same thing, 4 wide receivers here. And then David Montgomery randomly shows up. And then you go to tier 5 and, okay, we have 6 more quarterbacks. So we are probably going to look at trying to, and I haven't tried it, we're probably going to try to put together some correlation here. So I want to see, listen, if Kyler Murray is used, I'm going to make sure DeAndre Hopkins is also used, or if Ronald Moore or any of these other guys are in there. I don't think he is, by the way. Let's see. No, but like if Tom Brady is used, I want to make sure that Chris Godwin or Antonio Brown is in there, or Rob Gronkowski in tier 8. So I'm going to set up some stacks and we're going to see how this goes. I will do that through the advanced options and go through the group. So tier 1 and tier 5 is where all of the quarterbacks are. Let's just try it out. Let's see what happens. Again, we're just testing this. I'm totally curious. I think this is a unique way to try to maybe create some, and create a little edge for yourself for the week. And if you're struggling in the main slate, I mean, why not start focusing a little bit on the afternoon 4 gamers or the main slate 9 game or tiers, right? It's just something different. So, if you want to, you can honestly go through old school style like this. You click a lock button on, Russell Wilson, sort, and then you're saying whenever Russ is in there, I want Russ in there, and I want to use at least 1. And now he's a tier 1, he's a 3, and he's a 4. So theoretically, you could even say exactly 2. And then every single time Russell Wilson is used, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are both used in your lineup. So we can do that if we want to. So anyways, let's do this instead of going one by one. Since I have FC Pro, by the way, if you don't have FC Pro, you can do what I just did. I'm simply just going to click Auto Group Creator. It shows me make a group for tier 1, everybody above 5 projected points. Yep, that's fine. That's going to be everybody in tier 1. They're all quarterbacks. And then everybody else from the same team above 5 projected points, which, by the way, every single player in the entire tiers format is projected above 5. So it's going to include everybody, and that's cool. Key player name is who I like to use here. Watch this. I'm going to create the group. So we have, I didn't create them with the name. Well, here we go. Anyways, we've got Russell Wilson, Lockett, Carson, Metcalf. I know I'm only looking for that pass catcher correlation, so I'm removing Carson. And what it's saying is Wilson is going to include Lockett and Metcalf, tier 4, tier 3. We can even go back and then look at each tier and see where their projection is and how good of a play they might be in that tier. And then maybe we just bump up certain players, like maybe Tyler Lockett is a much better play because of whom is in tier 4. And then tier 3, you don't want Metcalf over, I don't know, Metcalf over DeAndre Hopkins and Christian McCaffrey and those guys. So we're just going to leave it as such, but I do think there's more layers here of what we could do. Tom Brady, let's remove Leonard Fournette, and we'll leave these players in here. I think with, Rob Gronkowski, a guy like that, you could probably bump up a little bit here because, and by the way, I'm just showing you, I'm not doing it right now, but like tier 8, those players aren't as good. That's why they're in the 8, and he's got high touchdown equity. We would bump his projection up. All right, let's keep going. So Dak Prescott, we'll remove Zeke. We leave Cooper and Lamb in there, and we'll remove Chase Edmonds. We've got Christian Kirk and DeAndre Hopkins in there with Kyler Murray. Cool. Now we got to create a new group because, again, tier 5 was a bunch of quarterbacks as well. So we are now doing this the opposite direction. So this is all tier 5 quarterbacks, include somebody from the same. And here we go. Add key player's name. There, that's what I didn't click last time. There you go. So now you can see it. Well, in tier 5, there were some other players in there that I don't want to have a group created for, like Julio Jones. So I'm going to delete the group for Julio. I'm going to delete the group for Mike Evans, Zeke Elliott, Chris Carson. There we go. I've got 6 quarterbacks. Stafford with Cup. Winston. Why is he in there? Give me a second. Huh, how bizarre. So we'll type in Stafford. So Stafford's used. We're going to have Cup in there. Winston's used. We can use both these guys. Whatever. Josh Allen's used. We're going to make sure we have Diggs. Baker Mayfield used. And we're going to make sure Jarvis Landry. Yes, he got hurt. Thanks. Jalen Hurts is used. And we're going to want to make sure we have Devonta Smith. And Justin Herbert is used. All these options. Goodness. So we're going to have to make a choice here, actually, because tier 6, I mean, I'm not trying to spread out my exposure here. So I'm probably just going to go with the touchdown equity in Mike Evans, downfield targets, get off of Jared Cook, get off the running back, leave the 2 wide receiver options. So I've made folders. These are folders, right? I could rename these for Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray. And every single one says, I want you to use a quarterback plugged in with one of his pass catchers. Now we're going to crunch. And again, here's our mark. Here's what we got to beat. Actually, I think the raw crunching was this. Anyways, here we go. Let's see. I have no clue if it's going to be better or worse. Zero clue. Does not look good. All right, so what I'm going to do next now is I'm going to look at those tiers themselves, and I'm going to spread my exposure out for those tiers. So, for instance, like the quarterbacks here, I am going to go with like a 25% cap. But a tier 1, here's exposure, and 25%. So now I'll get, instead of 15% Murray, I'll get 25. Instead of 36 Brady, I'll get 25. Instead of 16 Russell, I'll get 25. Instead of 33 for Dak, I'll get 25. And I'll calculate and see if it gets any better. So it did get better. So maybe we're on the right track. Let's keep going. So now the next thing I would want to look at is the players themselves and the ownerships, the exposures in each tier. And I'd probably want to use some type of loose exposure tiering, right, or scaling of where my exposure is based on the projections. So like Christian McCaffrey, the guy with the highest projected points, I'm probably going to give like a higher cap to, okay? And then, maybe 30%, 20, 10, and 5. All right. Tier 3, same thing. Highest projected was Diggs. So maybe I give him 50, 30, 20, 10, and 5. Or I'm just going to keep doing the same thing here. And what sucks here too is I'm seeing it. Like a couple of our tiers are going to get wrecked because Jarvis Landry got hurt. Half of our lineups are going to have him. He scored 1.9 points. There's just no avoiding it. Injuries killed it. Right? Now, let's try it out. So bracketing that actually screwed things up a little bit. Let's see here. It's got to be because of the pass catchers. So for wide receivers, they're going to need to be 25% or higher. Because if I've asked for 1 out of every 4 lineups to have each wide receiver. There we go. Okay, so wide receivers all have 25%. If they're stacking, right? There we go. Pass catchers. All right, so it's got to be 25% or higher, I think. Let's see if this works. What do I need to do here? Let's see. Like, I'm liking this correlation as I'm looking at this. Dak is with Cooper. Eckler's across from him. So that's a 3-player game stack. You've got Diggs and Allen. I mean, conceivably, if you have the right stacks, I mean, doesn't a lineup explode? Keenan with Justin Herbert. Brady with Chris Godwin. Russell with Lockett. That went bonkers. And then you had Baker with Jarvis, which absolutely wrecked your lineups. Murray with Hopkins. Jalen with Devonta. What do I need to do here? Let me think. Does everyone just need like a 50% cap? Let's see. What if I just give everyone like 25%? Just global. Can I run this? So I had to cap it at 35%. I'll have to look into the numbers why. Goodness, man, this is tough. I don't know why I can't. I'm having trouble even turning a profit here. Let me see. I have the right projections in there. Yeah, that ain't it. You know what's interesting? Let me go back to week 1, because week 2, maybe just the correlation sucks. Think about it. Murray to Hopkins was terrible. Brady to his wide receivers was not special, right? They didn't really do anything. Let's see. Brown had 2 points. Chris Godwin had 16. Nothing great. Gronk was the best at 19. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs was terrible. Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts was terrible. Jarvis Landry got hurt. All right, hold on. So I like the concept. Let's go back to week 1, and let's just try this out. We'll go 35%. I'm going to set it up the same way I can real quick. Let me make sure all players are here. Let's just try it. Let's just try it real quick. Auto group creator, tier 1. So Wilson, Lockett, Metcalf, Mahomes. Here's his pass catchers. You know, we'll take out, probably just keep these two studs in there. Allen with Diggs, Murray with Hopkins. Okay, great. Now, what was the other tier with the quarterbacks? 5? Yes, tier 5. Any other tiers with quarterbacks? No, just 5. All right, so let's try this here. So making sure it's only the quarterbacks. Okay, cool. So we've got these guys here. I don't know why when I do that second one, it's including the quarterback themselves down here. I doubt it's going to make an issue. Let's remove the running backs. I don't know what to do with Miles Sanders. We'll figure that one out. All right. Let's just let it rip and see what happens. I mean, I like the concept again. It's a good concept, right? We got the correlation. Oh, thanks, Shane. Good catch, buddy. So what Shane just said is when I did my auto groups, I left tier 5 in there, if that makes sense for you. So create new group. Oops. Auto group. Yeah, so I put this to tier 5, and then I needed to remove this. Leave T1 off because I don't want to include quarterbacks. There we go. So you would just uncheck that. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. All right, let's check it out. Let's see. Come on. Can we win money? Oh! Whoa! See? That's the flip side of it. Let's go. Look at that. Let's see our Mahomes lineups. Mahomes and Hill. Mahomes and Hill, Mahomes and Hill, Mahomes and Hill, Mahomes and Hill. And then where's the other one? So Hurts, not in there with anybody. Tannehill with, was he not? He didn't have anybody. Oh, Tannehill with A.J. Brown. Why isn't he in there with A.J. Brown? I mean, you all know how correlation works. You live and die by the correlation. Oh, man. Had you done that with the $5. Jeez. Okay, hold on. I'm redoing these. Okay, so T1. Go. All right, cool. Create new folder. All right, new folder. This will be T5. All right. Gosh, it's been a minute since I've used folders. And I don't know why all those guys, maybe there's that many selections. Let's remove these wide receivers. I'll go through each individual one here in a second. All right, so here we go, top to bottom. Russ, we don't want to include running backs. We're just looking for correlation. Pass catchers. So every single lineup we make should have 2 stacks, potentially 2 stacks. Oh, that's going to be that's why sometimes, look, because like let's say, let me see, does one of them have a wide receiver in tier 6? There's going to be some lineups I feel like it won't stack a wide receiver because the wide receiver is already stacked with another. Like if Russell Wilson is stacked with Lockett from tier 1, Cousins can't be with Thielen in tier 7, so on and so forth. I'm just guessing. Kareem Hunt, get out of here. Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler. All right, let's let this rip. Wow. As soon as I forced in the other secondary stack, Hurts with Sanders, Rodgers with Adams, Tannehill, Brown, it actually stunk. Maybe the play is just going with the elite group, the tier 1s, and just letting it fly after that. Yeah. So these guys, maybe not as stack worthy. Huge difference. Tier 1, Mahomes with Hill, Mahomes with Kelsey, Wilson with Lockett, Wilson with Metcalf, Murray with Hopkins, Allen with Diggs. That is an enormous difference. These guys, I mean, I would have thought Rodgers and Adams, but I guess Adams didn't score in week 1, right? Scored 10 actual points. Like Tannehill's not going to lock into any wide receiver. Hurts definitely doesn't have one. Herbert spreads the ball out more than people think. I know Allen gets, 10, 12 targets, but goodness, that's because he throws it 40 times. Can we go 25%? No, seizes up. See what happens. Makes me want to play tiers, tell you that. Yeah, so capping ownership is going to spread things out, and I think it's ultimately going to make things better. I don't know what that number is going to be. 50% seems too high, but maybe not. Maybe it might be fine. It looks great. All right, let me go back to week 2 and see if we can change that around a little bit as well then. Let me go to week 2. I want to figure out tiers bad. Yeah, Larry, I mean, again, I'm just kind of scratching the surface. You know what I mean? Like there's probably multiple layers to what I'm doing today that you should probably do on your own. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right, so we'll leave just the first tier. We're not doing the other one. We won't do tier 5. What are we looking at? The mini max over for this one? So if we leave the other one, how's it do? I mean, listen, it's just a fat loss. It is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes your correlation is going to win you a lot of money. Sometimes it's going to lose you a lot of money. In week 1, you go bonkers. Week 2, you get wrecked. Matter of fact, let's say you did $5 flea flicker both weeks. All right, you won $5,800 in week 1. Here's what's going to happen to you in week 2. This is literally just MME and tournaments in a nutshell. So you win $5,800 in week 1, you lose $600 in the next, plus $5,200 on the season. Looking forward into week 3. I'm playing tiers this weekend. I'm going to figure it out. Looking forward into week 3, we've got 4 tier 1 quarterbacks again. Murray, Brady, Wilson, Dak, like very similar. Oh, wait, hold up. What's the game we just saw? Oh, it's just not we don't have the new slate yet. Okay. About the afternoon. So the afternoon only has 6 tiers. I didn't even know they had multiple. I didn't even know. I didn't even know there were multiple tier slates. Afternoon only. There's a oops. Anyway, export. I can't lineup rewind it for some reason. Well, let me finish up these lineups just see what they look like. Oh, it doesn't. Does it have the results? Yeah, it does. Hold on. Let me refresh this. Let me see if the afternoon tiers is there. Dave might only have it set up for the main slate tiers. I mean, this is like a small thing, right? Like, does anybody even play these? I never even heard of this. I've been playing DFS forever. Never even knew they had small slates. I mean, it looks good. These look like great scores. A 162 looks like everybody did their job. It's only 6 positions. Contest data. Let's see if we can find it. We can find it. Well, hold up. Can I just go straight to the contest? Let's see. First place, 183. What do we have? Cut line 130. So our top score, 162. Now, the other time we ran this, we had 50%. Let's go 50%. Oh, word, Pat Kingpin. I don't think I realized that. Thanks, buddy. I must have. Oh, I did. You're right. I did this because I wanted to see if we had week 3 stuff up. Anyways, listen, I already hit my half-hour mark. I told you today was just going to be a little bit shorter. I had other things to do and family home. I want to look into this a lot more, though. Like, I'm actually kind of excited about week 3 now of playing tiers. And just honestly, it's not like I'm not going to play the main slate. Maybe I max out the mini max and tiers and I do the flea flicker main. I don't know. Maybe I do the opposite. Maybe I spend the next 3-4 days in lineup rewind here researching tiers, and I feel better about that than I do week 3 main slate. I move my main slate money to tiers and I just do a little bit on the main. I don't know. I am not ever going to be someone who is so beholden to needing to play the main slate because that's what everybody else does. But that's also why the main slate's so freaking hard. Everybody else does. If you're struggling in the main slate, go play the early. Go play the afternoon. Try some tiers out. Less people are playing it. Less sharp people, too. Those are like what people do for hobbies, and they're casual, and they don't want to break down 13 games of information, so they play a 4-gamer, and they just use game theory and leverage the field based on ownership. All right, short stream. I love y'all. Hit that like button on the way out. Looks like it had some less views today, about half of what we had on Monday. And that's okay. It's a busy day. Hit that like button on your way out, my friends. I appreciate you very much for being here. Subscribe is totally free. Daily videos and streams for you. Thank you to FC for the sponsor stream. And I hope anybody who checked out today checks us out. teamriseorfall.com. Grab the description link down below. I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. And I think I want to do a little bit more tiers rewind. And we'll start looking at some Thursday night primetime slate coverage for the terrible Houston Texans and Carolina Panthers game. So I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for the likes, the support, and honestly, just keep me company. Take care.